He's just sitting on the table now. We had to give him a bath and everything, which is like his he hates it so much.
He's so grumpy.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? He took
poor
it pretty good
baby.
tonight, though. Tyler picked him up, and as soon as he saw me standing in the bathroom, he's like, mm-mm. He tries to like run away. And Tyler held him, and as soon as his little feet touched the tub, he could go, oh. I can't describe the howl. I will have to record it in
Oh,
the car sometimes. My mom hears it when I take him to the vet because
oh
I
my
get so stressed.
God.
But it's just like this guttural wow, wow, like the lakes. It's so dramatic.
I don't know why, but like Jinx, like so Jinx will let us hold him, but
Uh-huh.
like the whole time we're holding him, he'll do like this meow.
They're so dramatic.
So
So dramatic.
dramatic. And I'm like, honey, it is fine. You've been rubbing up against my leg for the past half hour.
The
What's the
whole
deal?
time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Blair.
And I'm Kirsten, and we are
Mediocre
content. And I'm very excited about today's episode, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm glad. That's good.
Yes. I don't watch award shows, full disclosure. However, I am very interested in them because I feel like sometimes people or even songs that win awards, I'm like, I have no idea who that person is, or like I have no
Right.
idea what it's, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it just comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
I
Ready.
agree. That was one of my main like reasons for doing this is because there's been so much controversy, especially over the Grammys, because things have not been like the most popular songs have not been the ones winning awards. Or the ones that are what people, the popular opinion is that they're the best, like most put together album, et cetera, you know.
Isn't that
So
weird?
I just wanted to do a little deep dive and like know where this information is coming from. So
I'm so excited. I mean, I think that there needs to be improvements. Again, I don't watch them, but when I see the news, I'm like, yeah, I guess that does kind of not make sense.
Yes.
You know?
I have a lot of experience in award shows because my mom and I used to like sit on the couch and like watch them together because she was really into it. She like loved it. Was like every night she would watch the nightly news and then she would watch Entertainment Tonight and then she would watch whatever came on after that and then it would be the award show, right? So she had, it was like a whole thing. And so, but now my dad has convinced her to start watching shows on stream with him. So like Netflix and stuff. So now she doesn't do that anymore. But for a long time, she did the prime time lineup on like NBC ever.
What was her favorite? Do you know?
I think she liked the Oscars the best or the Golden Globes, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, because the Grammys were fun for me because I knew exactly what was going on, but she did not always know what was happening.
Fair enough. That's cute. Oh, we love that.
Yes. So, let's do a disclaimer and then we'll get to the good news.
Let's do it.
Okay. We are not experts on anything. I am definitely not an expert on this topic. I did the best I could with the internet and what the internet provided for me. If you want to learn about award shows or any topic that we talk about, you're more than welcome to do so. And then we just say, you know, take that information with a grain of salt. We do our best. You know, we don't have a team of researchers, as you probably know.
It's us.
It's
surprise.
Just us. Yeah. So do with that information what you will. And Kirsten, take us into your science corner.
I'm going to trick you. Guess who didn't really do science this time?
Whoa.
Hold on to
your pants. Is hell
pants.
freezing over? What's happening? I need to know.
There wasn't a lot in science news, I'm not going to lie. And the news that I did come up with, I decided it's more like self-proclaimed nerd corner because that's just what I am, and I found these interesting. So here we go.
We like nerd corner. Okay, go ahead.
The first one I named Spidey senses are tingling, which I
Ooh,
think is appropriate considering what it's about.
okay.
There's a 14-year-old named Preston Mutanga. I apologize if I mispronounced this name, but Preston. He had no idea that when he recreated the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer using Lego characters, that it would lead him to a job offer. What the heck? He's so cute.
When I tell you that we were sitting in the office last night and Chris was like, "Have you heard of this guy?" Because we just saw this movie not last week, but the week before.
Yeah.
And, Chris is on that side of TikTok and he's like, did you see this 14-year-old kid who produced the Lego character part of the movie or whatever? Yeah. Super cool.
Is him. This is so for years, Preston has been making these computer generated Lego videos on his dad's old computer. And he shared his Across the Spider-Verse trailer online, which is probably, where Chris is seeing it and everybody's getting it. And when Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who are the directors of the Lego movie and writer-producers for Across the Spider-Verse, saw it, they were blown away by what he created and asked if he would be interested in animating a scene for the movie featuring the Lego blocks and figures, obviously. His dad built him a whole new computer. What an amazing dad.
Right.
And then Preston worked on the scene after he finished his homework for the day and, put it all together. And he told New York Times that being able to work on the movie with, quote, people who actually made this masterpiece was honestly like a dream, end quote. Aww. How freaking cute is that?
That is so cute. We love Preston. Oh my gosh.
That's so freaking cool.
It's super cool. And I love how they were they didn't try to be like, okay, well, can we just buy this?
Right.
They were like, we want you to be a part of this. We want you to make this something with us, which is so, I mean, to be 14 and have that experience must be
amazing. Yeah. Well, and clearly he really enjoyed Spider-Man in general. Otherwise he wouldn't have made it. I mean, if he didn't like Spider-Man, he wouldn't have put it together. So clearly this is something he's really interested in. And like you said, then got to be part of. So,
and the Spider-Verse movies, because this is the second one, they're very good. Really? I highly recommend them to anyone, even if you're not a comic book person. It's really, the humor is there and it's super fun.
Oh, I love that. So awesome job, Preston. And then my next piece of good news I've titled Thinking Thoughts, which is one of my favorite things to say, courtesy of my aunt. Shout out, Suzanne. Give Thinking Huts a few days, Thinking Huts being the name of this company, and they'll turn an empty lot into a school campus. Founded by 23-year-old Maggie Grout, Thinking Huts is a nonprofit devoted to making education accessible in Madagascar. According to the United Nations, 3 out of 4 children living there don't go to school due to overcrowding or treacherous commutes. However, using a 3D printer in 18 hours, Thinking Huts can build a structure a community can use as a classroom. And in 2022, Thinking Huts completed its first campus in Fianarantsoa, again, really long name, apologies if I butchered it, which is a city of 200,000 people in south central Madagascar. It has huts, solar panels, potable water, toilets, and Wi-Fi, and soon Thinking Huts will unveil its second campus, which will serve 3 villages on the west coast. Once the schools are built, they are run by their local partners, and Grout told Fast Company, the one who produced this article, that, quote, "We're really just aiming to be a stepping stone for the community to be successful on their own," end quote. So this is fantastic.
That is crazy. Yeah. I am always impressed about what people can do with a 3D printer.
Oh my God, right? It's insane these days.
It's the possibilities are endless, honestly.
I mean, building entire structures. What the heck?
Yeah, so that's wild.
Anyway,
that's pretty cool.
That's what we got.
I love it. Great job.
Yeah, and the award for nerdiest good news goes to me.
The award for borderline but not science goes to
Spider-Man isn't science. I guess technically education could be science. I don't know.
Okay, so there. First one was not science. The second one, 3D printing, is a STEM.
Yeah.
You have to be in STEM to use a 3D printer.
Yeah, I can't. That's for sure. I don't even own one. Yeah. Super sad.
I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think most people own a 3D printer, but I don't know. I digress. Insert transition here. Okay. All right. So people have a lot of opinions on award shows, as you may know if you've been on the internet at any point in time. Mm-hmm. Some people think there are too many, or they need to be broadcast on a stream network. Or they are scams, basically. And they're just, handing out awards to whoever they want.
That sounds like what happens at the Grammys.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna touch on those things, but I'm also gonna give some rationale behind those arguments as well.
Fun.
So just some overall housekeeping here. So 4 major American award shows are the Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, and Tonys. Now, I will say we're not going to be diving into any of the overseas award shows. I think in couple like the British like music awards or something like that, but we're not going to do all the Asian award shows. Sorry, BTS fans, we're just not going to do it. So Emmys, Grammys, Oscars, and Tonys. And some would say if you get one of each of those things, then you have EGOTed. And according to Wikipedia, the EGOT acronym was coined by actor Philip Michael Thomas in late 1984 when his role on Miami Vice brought him instant fame, and he stated a desire to achieve the EGOT within 5 years. So that's 1 Emmy, 1 Grammy, 1 Oscar, and 1 Tony. The acronym gained wider recognition following a 2009 episode of 30 Rock that introduced EGOT status as a recurring plot line. And Tracy Morgan, if you watched 30 Rock, Tracy Morgan's goal in life is to EGOT.
Yes, I don't know if I like that,
and now
whatever.
Now it's just like a common phrase that people use, I guess.
Sure.
So anyway, so how many award shows are there? Well, there are about 564 different entertainment industry award shows.
Nice.
And the article that I got this from was written in 2002.
Oh.
So I'm sure there's more now.
Yeah.
I couldn't find on the internet how many award shows are televised and how many award shows are like in the US now. I don't know. The ones that are televised though in the United States are the Golden Globes, the Teen Choice Awards, Daytime Emmys, NAACP Image Awards, the ESPY Awards, iHeartRadio Music Awards, the People's Choice Awards, Critics' Choice Movie Awards, Academy of Country Music Awards, the CMA Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards, Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, American Music Awards, MTV Movie and TV Awards, BET Awards, CMT Music Awards, GLAAD Media Awards, and the Annie, aka Animation Awards, and the Emmys, Grammys, Tonys, and Oscars.
I like how Nickelodeon Kids' Choice is on there because I remember all the slime, and that was like the big thing.
That was the
as
big
a kid.
Thing. I think they still do that.
They do. Yeah, they do.
Wild.
Slime Time Live. Just takes me back.
Takes me back. I wonder what that stuff is made of. It's nasty.
It's disgusting. Also, okay, so I don't know if it's changed in formula or not, but at least when it was originally airing and they would have the slime shows or even the slime awards, it looked so thick. Like the kind of stuff that you could never fully get out of your hair, kind of
right.
thick.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I don't understand why.
No.
Why?
No. If I was ever invited, like, this is just never going to happen. But if I were famous and if I got invited to the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, I would just decline because I know at some point they're going to try to slime me on national television and I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you sign up for, and I just wouldn't do it.
No. Yeah, same.
Ugh,
Honestly.
what a mess.
I don't really think that's our graphic anyway, but I don't really know.
Children. No. Well, but I would argue that some of them weren't either. Some of them were on like the Disney shows, but some of them were just random pop artists as well that were just in the industry. And I was like,
true.
Some of these pop artists maybe children shouldn't be listening to.
Well,
that
sounds like a parental decision.
Yeah, I can't say I didn't listen to a lot of weird stuff. Anyway.
Same. Okay, so when are the award shows? So there are so many award shows that they happen year round, obviously. But the award season, quote unquote, is considered between September and March because that's when the quote unquote major award shows are happening. So that's the time period in which the Emmys, Grammys, Tonys, and Oscars are happening.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you may be asking, where can I watch these award shows? And I would tell you that you can watch them on the major broadcast networks, NBC, ABC. Those are the only two major networks I know of, but those are the ones that, like, you know, your local stations, right? That everybody gets. Apparently, the Golden Globes this year are looking for a new network to broadcast on because their contract with NBC is up in 2024.
Oh.
So the argument can be made that the award shows should turn to streaming services for the following reasons. So the Oscars have resorted to gimmick bits in the past to get views. So and so there's a huge conversation about including films that are more pop culture related, more mainstream, such as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Topical.
And fun flack,
man.
Fun fact, Black Panther is the first superhero movie to win an Academy Award.
Oh, that seems weird.
I know.
Not that Black Panther's bad, but like,
right.
Wow.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so the Oscars basically, the other thing is like, remember when Ellen hosted and they had like a pizza party or whatever? Yeah. And you remember, so like they do all of these like corny things because the movies that the Oscars typically gravitate towards to give to is no sees them, like the mainstream audience of America, like nobody sees them. Maybe afterwards you would like go and see them, but
maybe that's on purpose.
So I think there's a culture of like mainstream, and then there's the Oscars who are trying to make it more of like an art form.
Maybe.
Which, I mean, making movies is an art form.
Right.
But it's just, I think it's more of like snooty. You know?
Snooty like, movies.
You know, and will make more sense later because we'll talk about like how the like the Academy judges and like figures out what movies are going to be winners, right?
Right.
So the argument is that if the Oscars, for example, move to streaming, then they don't necessarily have to cater to the mainstream because they don't have the network executives being like, well, we need viewers like all the time. So that's argument number one. Argument number two is streaming could allow award shows the length that they need because Lord knows they're like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And, you know, taking up that primetime block on a major network can be very stressful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Streaming. So I guess apparently based on what I read, the streaming don't their viewership data, which means that they no longer like the people who produce award shows won't have to be obsessed with reaching a certain number.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So apparently that would be a pro of going to streaming.
Right.
So, and then
Yeah.
also if, if the award show is getting boring and there's like plunging viewership, they won't really know and they'll just
Right.
continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah. If they were gonna do that, I would hope they would stray away from like Netflix because it's just
Well, so in this next so basically it would make more sense for the streaming services like Paramount Plus or Peacock to
right.
like
Yeah.
have those
Yeah.
because they're already associated with the network. And so then it
Yeah.
kind of just gives another avenue for people to sign up for their service, but then also
Mhm.
legitimizes the streaming service because they're the one that has like the Grammys or the Oscars or
Right.
whatever it is.
Right.
So
I
it
like
kind of
that.
makes more sense from like a marketing standpoint too.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. I think both of those are great choices.
Yeah. So do people even watch award?
Yes.
Shocking. So I have this beautiful little chart here, and it displays the leading TV and movie award shows in the United States from 2019 to 2023. And it has the Academy Awards, the Golden Globes, and the Emmys. So in 2023, the Academy Awards or the Oscars, same thing.
Oh, okay.
Had 18.7 million viewers.
Wow.
Now, this is decreased from in 2019 where they had 29.6 million. Okay. So obviously everybody during the pandemic, but
right.
but now they're trying to claw their way back to that 29.6 because right now they're only at like 18.7.
It's a big drop.
I know. And the Golden Globes, same trend. They seem to do a little bit better in 2020. They stayed consistent from 2019 to 2020, where the other ones have just kind of like dropped off. But by far, more people watch the Oscars than the Golden Globes and the Emmys.
Yeah, that's insane.
I know. It's crazy. Very weird. So the 10 most popular award shows to watch according to IMDb are number 1, the Oscars, number 2, the Emmys, 3, the Golden Globes, 4, the Grammys, 5, the British Academy Television Awards.
Interesting.
6, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. 7 is the ESPYs. 8 is Spike TV Video Game Awards.
Also interesting.
I know. I didn't know those existed.
Me neither.
And then 9 is the Daytime Emmys and 10 is the MTV Movie Awards.
MTV Movie Awards?
Yes. The one where they give out the little popcorn statue.
Not even music awards.
No, the music awards is the Spaceman one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one's not more popular than the movie awards.
I don't know.
Isn't it older? No?
The music ones are older, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the movie awards are more popular apparently.
That's crazy to me.
That's the one.
I don't know why.
Did you ever see that clip of Ryan Gosling and what's her face from the Nope? They did their kiss on stage at the MTV Movie Awards. Yeah.
Oh.
It was a whole thing.
Fancy.
Yeah. It was an iconic pop moment.
No, if you say so.
It was. Ask anyone.
I don't think I've ever seen The Notebook. Just gonna put that into the universe. And I've never read the book either, and I know that that's where it started, right?
Oh, I didn't read the book. I just saw the movie. Yeah.
Like every good millennial.
Look, my mom had it on every weekend. I don't know what to tell you.
We were in two different worlds.
I know. I could be in my room doing my homework or something, and I could hear the soundtrack or like the score of the movie and walk out, and there's The Notebook just happening.
You were watching The Notebook while I was in my room at like 11 p.m. with Inuyasha on, like Pogi Dachiwa, like 11 p.m. while my grandparents were snoring. Like,
oh my god,
two different universes.
Clearly, definitely.
I love it though.
It was a running joke in my house for a while where my dad, every time, like on a Sunday afternoon, if the TV was on and my mom was like on the couch, just scrolling on her iPad or whatever, he's like, "Are you watching The Notebook?" Because it was like on so frequently.
I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
She really did like The Notebook. It was like her comfy movie.
It
Yeah.
was. And plus,
Yeah.
I think at the time it was on TV so much that like
Yeah.
it just was. I don't
Makes
know.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Good for you, Mom.
Truly. Icon. Icon.
Icon.
So yeah, any questions? Do we have any questions about this?
No, I'm kind of excited for the second half, to be honest, because
Yeah.
like I said, I have my opinions as well. I don't even watch these, and I'm like, seems a bit sus.
Yeah. I would also I'm going to briefly go over the fact that the Academy Awards and are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And those are for movies only.
Okay.
The Emmys are for TV only.
Okay.
And the Golden Globes are movies and TV together.
Okay. Wide range. Got it.
Right. And the Grammys are music. And the Tonys is musical theater.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like Hamilton?
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Ready.
Got it. Yeah, okay. So with that in mind, we're going to take a little break and then go into the second half. Hello. This podcast is sponsored by the Tooth Fairy, Santa, the Easter Bunny, Dracula, the Keebler Elves, Jack Frost, Bugs Bunny, Winnie the Pooh, Bigfoot, and the Loch Ness Monster.
Thank you for your continued support. If you are interested in sponsoring mediocre content, please contact us by owl or seance. No, but really though, you can contact us at mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at mediocresquawks, or Instagram at mediocrecontentpodcast. Also, if you like these fake ads, or if you're sick of them and want real ads, rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts.
Now back to the show. We're going to talk about how voting works and how you can become a member of the people who vote for Grammys, Emmys, and the Oscars.
Oh. It's like there's types of people that can.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So it's not like the general public. This is the elite group.
Oh, well, that explains a lot. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Okay. But I think I also need to pull up. Oh no, I have the link. Okay, good. I'm prepared.
Woo! Professionals.
Open link. Dun, 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 dun.
So fancy.
Okay. So we're going to start with the Grammys because I like the Grammys the best. And basically, the process begins with members and record companies submitting entries, which are then screened for eligibility and category placement. The Academy's voting members, all involved in creative and technical processes of recording, then participate in the nominating process that determines the 5 finalists in each category, the ones that you hear, announced on the award show. And the final voting process, which determines the Grammy winners.
Fun. Okay.
So submission of the work that you are trying to get nominated. The Recording Academy members and record companies enter recordings and music videos released during the eligibility year, which they consider worthy of recognition in the Grammy Awards process. So artists and their teams are submitting themselves.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And I mean, I guess you could submit somebody else's work, but I feel like most people probably are just, this is what I did this year. Please consider it for the award. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. So then there's the screening process, which is reviewing sessions by more than 350 experts in various fields are held to ensure that entered recordings meet specific qualifications and have been placed in appropriate fields such as jazz, traditional pop, contemporary instrumental music, musical theater, Latin, global, reggae, and new age. ambient, or chant.
Hmm.
Chant is a category,
Interesting.
among others. The process of screenings is not to make artistic or technical judgments about the recording, but rather to make sure that each entry is eligible and placed into the proper category, which I think is fair.
Eligible.
So I
How?
guess there's like a particular qualifications that you should have in order for your song or chant or whatever to be. And you can, I guess you can also like, you can win a Grammy for your audiobook too. So that
Oh,
has to, there's
oh,
certain criteria. Yeah.
okay.
What the criteria is, I think we're going to go over in just a second.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
so nominating. First round ballots are sent to voting members in good dues standing, because you have to pay dues to be a part of the Recording Academy, apparently. To help ensure the quality of the voting, members are directed to vote only in their areas of expertise. They may vote in up to 10 categories across up to 3 genre fields, plus the 6 categories of the general field, aka record of the year, album of the year, song of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like over the overarching ones,
Right.
the big awards, I guess, that they save for the end of the evening when you're exhausted.
When you're delirious and confused.
Right. It's like 11 p.m. and you have to get up at 5 and you're like, I waited all evening for this. Okay. So they can vote in the general field ballots, and then they are tabulated by the independent accounting firm of Deloitte. Now, what I have noticed is each award show has, or each like academy, if you will, because like the Oscars are the academy, like I don't know exactly, but they're the academy, right?
Okay.
And then the Grammys are the recording academy, and the Emmys are the television academy, right? So the academy, each one has, hi Puma,
just wants to be part of it.
I know, has some kind of accounting firm.
She just puts her butt in my face. Keep going.
Has an accounting firm that counts all these votes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting, that it's interesting that they have lawyers and accountants doing this job.
Right. Exactly. No, that's weird.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess they need an impartial party, but like, how impartial are they? I'm suspicious.
But are they what am I trying to ask? Like, are they're
hired by the body. Like, so the Oscars hire this, or the Grammys hire this accounting firm to count the votes.
Okay. Maybe it's fine.
So that's the nominating process. Final voting, after nominations have been determined and announced, the Academy voting members vote in up to 10 categories across up to 3 fields in the genre. Fields plus the 4 categories of the general field to determine the winners. To ensure the quality of voting, members are directed to vote only in those fields in which their peers are the nominees, except for in the general ones, which are the big awards.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What is Puma? She is literally trying to strangle you with your hoodie right now.
Just trying so hard to pay attention, but she's eating the strings of my hoodie.
Oh my God, Salem does that to me.
This is like not the time. We're trying to record, girlfriend.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me.
She loves these things. Like, look at her freaking face. You know?
I know.
She is just so into it. What if I put it here? She's saying real hard. I know, right? It's just gonna smack. Yeah. There we go. Anyway, keep going. She's fine.
Oh God. Okay. So then the results, ballots are tabulated by the independent accounting firm, right? We talked about them. After the vote tabulation, Grammy winners are announced at the Grammy Awards premiere and telecast ceremonies. The recording with most votes in the category wins. Ties are possible, in which case the 2 or more nominees who tie are considered winners. Winners receive a Grammy Award. All nominees receive a nominee medallion and certificate, which I did not know. That's pretty cool.
I don't know. They just let like the tie go through. Like they're just
I
like, yeah,
didn't
there's
know that
5.
either. I feel like that doesn't happen very often, and I also feel like probably wouldn't let that happen on the because they don't air every single award, right?
Right.
So they probably the ones that are on TV, they
Mhm.
probably don't. They're like, oh, it's a tie. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
Ooh, but
That
here's
doesn't
the
make for
thing.
good TV.
If they
What?
stream it,
Right.
then we'll know.
Right.
Every detail.
Exactly. So that is the tea. Okay.
Nice.
So then I was like, okay, that makes sense. Now, who are these mysterious members that are voting on the music that I like?
Right.
And so who can be a member of the Recording Academy? Voting membership is for performers, songwriters, producers, engineers, instrumentalists, and other creators currently working in the recording industry. Voting members determine the Grammy winners each year. Now, what does it take to join the Academy?
The Academy.
The Grammy Awards Recording Academy membership is a community-driven and peer-reviewed on an annual cycle. To be considered for an invitation to join, get 2 strong recommendations from the music industry peers. Please make sure both recommenders use the same email address for the candidate. The Recording Academy does not accept self-recommendations. Applications with self recommendations will be considered incomplete and will not be processed. After your recommendations are received by the Academy, tell us more about your career. Profiles must be complete by midnight on March 1st to be considered for that next year's class. Now, based on that information, what does this sound like to you, Kirsten?
I don't know. A mess.
Sounds to me a little bit like a frat, just like a little bit.
My mind was like cult. I don't think that was what you're going for.
Extreme. But it gives me like you have to know people in the industry. You have to have them recommend you to the Recording Academy.
Yeah, and you have to receive an invitation. So
right.
Yeah, but you can't.
And you have to submit like a packet. So you basically have to like rush for this sorority.
Is there going to be hazing? There's probably hazing.
Right, there's probably hazing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems a little clicky to me, but I don't know. There's also a lot of members in all of these.
I was about
because
to
there's
say.
A lot of people in the in the recording industry, right? So
well, and if one person that you know gets recommended, you're like, oh, I know that person, maybe they'll recommend me, and they just start recommending each other probably.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. That's not to say all of them will get in, because you still have to, I guess, kind of audition, because you got to give them an overview of what you do, but still, like,
exactly,
it's very much a who you know game.
So, you know, it's all fostering this community.
Yeah.
I guess.
Right. Yeah.
It's also kind of weird to me because I'm like, Beyonce in the Recording Academy, because then that gives her the power to vote and she can vote for herself.
Is she?
I don't know.
Oh,
like there's no like definitive list, but she's in the recording industry, right? And she probably has 2 friends who are also in the recording industry.
I wonder if there's kind of like exclusions. Like if you're on the ballot, you can't vote.
Right. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what the rules are.
Because that would be hashtag rigged.
Well, she's just one vote though. But then,
I mean, sure, but if she knows other people that may have worked with her in the project, you know what I'm like? It could be bias.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Weird.
Isn't it?
I don't like it.
Very weird. I mean, Taylor Swift, same thing, you know.
Yeah, well,
all the big names, same thing.
Most of them do write their own music as well. So yeah.
IDK. So anyway, just things to think about. We're going to move on to the Oscars now.
Let's go.
So Regular awards are presented for outstanding individual or collective film achievements in a wide variety of categories. Most categories are nominated by the members of the corresponding branch. Actors nominate actors, film editors nominate film editors, etc. However, certain categories, such as the international feature film and animated feature film, have special voting rules, which can be viewed at our rules and eligibility
Nailed
page.
it.
So good. Okay. We're not going to visit the rules and eligibility page because it was too long and way too dense for me to read it.
Fair.
All voting members are eligible to select best picture nominees. And nomination voting is conducted using online ballots. All votes are tabulated by PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is I don't know.
Yeah, this company that is probably an electronic company that manages the ballots.
The results are then announced live. So nice. That's for nominating. Final ballot process. Finals voting is also conducted during finals. All Oscar categories are built on the ballot. During finals. During the final voting, all Oscar categories are on the ballot for voting members. After final ballots are tabulated, only 2 partners of the PricewaterhouseCoopers organization knows the results until the famous envelopes are opened on stage during the Oscars telecast. We all know.
Ooh, so if they, oh man, wouldn't that be a scandal and a half if those 2 people just like leaked?
So I can't remember if it was at the Golden Globes or the Oscars, but like so they were presenting the award. I forget who it was now, but they opened the envelope and they announced the winning movie. And it was like a big award. It was like best picture of the whole, like of all the genres and everything. So they did that. And then it came out that was the wrong movie. And it was actually a movie that won.
What?
But it was the wrong result in the envelope, apparently.
That's like Steve Harvey.
What?
With like, was it Miss Universe, Miss America, Miss something? Somebody announced the wrong winner. Or was that it? I don't know. There was something I think specifically with him or maybe a different actor, but he was in charge of announcing the winner of one of the pageants, I think, and he announced the wrong one. I'm fairly certain.
Oh my God.
You don't remember that? It was like all over the news and everything.
No, I remember the Oscars one. I don't remember the Steve Harvey one.
I gotta look it up. I gotta make sure it's him. If it isn't, I'll feel terrible. Announces wrong winner. Yeah, it was the Miss Universe announcement. So I guess I don't remember like which one it was. He misread the card and it was either Miss Colombia or Miss Philippines, and whichever one it wasn't is the one he announced.
Oh God.
Anyway, apparently it happens a lot.
Apparently.
It's a lot to keep track. I understand.
The Oscars have like a whole season where there's all these different dates you have to follow. So there's a date where you have to submit your nominations. Then there's like these things called the Governor's Awards, which are weird. And then there's the preliminary voting, and then the Oscars shortlist announcement, and then nominations voting, and then nominations luncheon, and then finals voting. I know. It's like a whole thing.
Bougie.
And then all of it ends up being announced, the finals at the Oscars telecast. But it's a whole thing. It's like applying for college.
It does exactly what it sounds like. It is a long process. I bet it's costly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't actually know.
No way it's free.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's dues to like be in
I was
the
gonna, yeah,
academy.
yeah.
But there's, I don't know, to submit, I don't think you need to pay anything, but I don't know.
Hmm.
So yeah, the Oscars are bougie. They are the most bougie out of all of
Sounds
them.
like
And I'm
it.
sure there's dates like this for the Grammys and the Emmys too, but like
Yeah,
they have a full calendar on their website.
a lot of prep.
So who gets to be this bougie on a regular basis? We're going to find out. The Academy membership is limited to film artists working in the production of theatrically released motion pictures.
It's hard
The
to say.
Academy has 17 branches for the crafts ranging from actors to writers and the members at large category
Which is what?
to accommodate individuals who work in motion picture
Oh.
production but do not fit into one of the branches.
I should have just been patient.
They're the miscellaneous category.
Yeah, I was gonna say miscellaneous people. They're like, I guess we'll
I just
include
like
them.
how I like how they call them members at large because it makes me think that they're like criminals or something.
I know. You are wanted.
You are wanted.
$1,000 reward.
So the Academy membership process is by sponsorship, not application. So candidates must be sponsored by 2 Academy members from the branch to which the candidate seeks admission. So if you're a director, you have to get 2 other directors to be like, hey, let him in, basically.
So you know.
Or let her in. Excuse me.
To be fair. Yeah.
Additionally, Academy Award nominees are automatically considered for membership and do not require sponsors.
Oh.
Interesting. Nominees and sponsored candidates are reviewed by branch committees, and recommendations for membership are considered by the Academy's Board of Governors. The board decides which individuals will receive invitations. Again, very frat-like.
I was gonna say, yeah, it very much is. It's exclusive.
Exclusive. Membership review takes place once a year in the spring. The current cycle deadline for candidates is Friday, January 2023.
Oh. So it's past.
So I guess at each year, there's a new cycle.
Fancy.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is a global organization representing the best of international art form and has members in countries all over the world.
Yes.
So there's a bunch of sponsorship instructions, which basically outlines like how you need to sponsor someone if you want them to be, or if they want to be in the Academy. And just a brief overview of that is basically sponsoring a candidate for a membership in the Academy is a serious commitment. They want you to know that you could ruin your career over this.
Okay.
Please make sure that you are confident that the candidate has truly demonstrated exceptional achievement in the field of theatrical motion pictures.
I mean, I guess it's true. I don't know.
Sure. It is important to be familiar with the admission criteria of your branch or category if you are sponsoring someone as a member at large. Please note, a member may sponsor only one candidate per membership cycle. So you can't sponsor at one time. You can only have one.
Rude.
I know. Candidates for branch membership must be sponsored by members of the branch in question. Members at large may be sponsored by any 2 members from any branch. Feel like is kind of a loophole, honestly.
Yeah.
And the new member proposal process is a candidate for membership must be sponsored by 2 memberships of the. Okay, we get it. We understand that they need 2 people. One
received.
One sponsor should initiate the sponsorship process on the Academy member portal, which is online and you cannot get into it. I tried.
What? You're not famous enough for that.
No, you need like a whole login and everything of that. Please review your branch's requirements before submitting a candidate for consideration.
Don't tell me what to do.
After After the two sponsors have completed the online process, the proposed candidate will receive an email requesting additional information. Once completed, the Member Relations and Awards Department will be in touch if any additional information is required. Membership reviews take place once a year in the spring. Got it.
Jeez.
Each candidate who receives a favorable endorsement from the appropriate branch executive committee will be submitted to the Board of Governors for final approval and invitation to membership.
Well,
yeah,
that's awful.
Right.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like
too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
If I was a celebrity, I would not want to do this.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah. Unless someone was like, I'm going to do it for you and be in the academy. I'll be like, great, awesome. Do it for me. I don't care.
Maybe that's why people have like agents.
Personal assistants.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So all of the Grammys and the Oscars website, in terms of like their voting sections and everything, were all very heavy. They were like, this is what you have to do. These are our rules. Very strict, it seemed like.
Yeah.
The Emmys had like a beautiful little infographic.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. And they have like little facts about Emmys, of the Emmys, and like why they're called that, and like all these other things. And like it's very user friendly and very nice. And so we're going to go through it together because it's so cute. And I love TV so much because of anyway. So to answer some of your questions that I know you're just dying to ask.
So dying to ask.
Who created the Emmys?
Who?
The answer is, it was established in 1940 by Sid Cassidy.
Sure.
With 5 charter members to help industry professionals develop the art and science of television. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. More than 17,000 voting members are part of the Television Academy. And the first Emmy went to a ventriloquist and KILA personality Shirley Dinsdale and her sidekick Judy Splinters, which was the ventriloquist dummy.
Interesting.
Indeed. The first Emmy was presented in 1949 at the Hollywood Athletic Club in Los Angeles. Tickets were $5.
$5? That's it?
Cinco. Mm-hmm. The name Emmy comes from IMMY, Emmy, a nickname for the image. What is that word? Image something. Image orthicon camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a little tube that was part of the camera that was instrumental in the technical development of television.
Fancy.
Yeah.
This is all fancy.
The Television Academy considered 47 proposals before choosing television engineer Louis McManus's design for the statue. Yeah. So it's Emmy and her wings. So like the woman,
right?
It's a woman with wings,
right?
Represent the muse of art. Fancy. Okay. Yes. And then she's holding an atom and its electrons, which represents the science and technology of television.
Nice.
What's wrong?
There's something going on downstairs. I'm so distracted today.
Oh my God. It's okay. Okay, yeah. We're almost done.
Well, it's interesting to me. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was looking at the trophy because you've got the infographic here. And I was like, I totally like blanked on what the other trophies look like for these other award shows. Yes. So I looked them up and I gotta say the Emmys is so nice compared to like I guess it's a record player for the Grammy.
Yes. Yeah, it's like it's a what is it called? A sousaphone? No, it's not a sousaphone, but it's
gramophone?
Like a gramophone. That's it.
You got it.
Right.
The Oscars like a dude, I guess. And then
Yeah, just a statue.
yeah, and then the Golden Globe is literally a golden globe and it's got like the film, like the old school film
Mhm.
around it. So that's cute. But the Emmy looks so delicate
Mhm.
and like so nice.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? It looks
I
good.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Golden Globe, I think.
It does look good. Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
one the best.
Hmm.
I also really like the popcorn for the MTV Music Awards.
Yes.
Or MTV, excuse me, the MTV Movie Awards, excuse me.
MTV Movie Award Trophy. Oh, it is cute. Mm.
It's very cute. And you should look up the MTV Music Award one too. You would like that because you're a fan of space.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. The space guy with the little flag on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. That's their mascot. Yeah. I will never get over the fact that they are not as popular as the MTV Movie
I'm
Awards.
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
upset.
IMDb though, I mean, is it a
Yeah,
reliable source? We don't know.
that's fair. I don't know.
Okay, so those are our fun Emmy facts.
I love it.
So determining the nominees, you can submit a program, performer, or individual achievement must be submitted to be nominated. If you're eligible, you can and should. It says and should in brackets, and it's so cute.
That is cute.
You can and should submit yourself for consideration. Don't be shy. It actually says don't be shy. It's so cute. See, isn't that lovely? The Emmys are the best.
Yeah, they seem very relaxed.
They're very relaxed. All right. So then voting begins. Once all the submissions are in, voters choose their entries, the entries that they feel exemplify excellence in their categories. So there's program, performer, and individual achievement. Those are like the three main categories. So in program, all 1,000 voting members may vote on all 14 categories, including drama series, comedy series, limited series, television movie, variety talk series, variety sketch series, competition, and short form series. Okay. Now, in the performance category, specific peer groups vote on lead actress, lead actor, supporting actress, supporting actor, guest actress, and guest actor. And then individual achievement is a specific peer group votes on directing, writing, and other areas of achievement. So this year, the Television Academy has received 10,000 entries in 118 categories. Jeez. The number of nominees per category is determined by the number of submissions in each category, and both comedy and drama series have 8 nominees each.
Good grief.
Yes.
That's so many. I feel like I would struggle keeping track of all that.
I know.
Not gonna lie.
I know. It's a whole team. So the process is nominations are the ballots are tallied, and then the Ernst & Young accountants check ballots.
Fair. Someone has to.
On July 12th, Emmy nominees are announced.
Nice.
The final round of voting. So Emmy voters pick all their favorites in all the program categories and in the non-program categories for which their peer group can vote. They judge performers and individual achievements as well as programs. So for the performers and individual achievements, the nominees choose their best work of the season. And for programs, each show's producers choose their best episodes of the season. So you can submit like what you think is your best episode of the entire season, which I think is really cool. Yeah. Over the years, where have voters watched the nominated work? So from 1949 to 2001, voting members watched submissions at the Television Academy and at local hotels. From 2002 to 2014, members applied to be in the blue ribbon panels and judge categories. They watched submissions on their DVDs at home. And from 2015 to the present, there's a secure online platform that you can look and view all of these submissions and everything.
Technology has come so far.
I know.
So thankful.
Agreed. Can you imagine getting a shit ton of DVDs at your
That's what
door?
I mean. Like, what I don't have time to watch all of these.
No.
Heaven forbid your DVD player goes out. You gotta run to Circuit City. It's a mess.
It's a mess, Circuit City.
I know.
So final round voting is open to all eligible members based on their peer group. So they cast their votes online. They verify that they've watched the content, and the votes are cast by August 22nd. Then the final round, the ballots are tallied. Ernst & Young LLP accountants check the ballots. And then there's a little like blurb on the side. It says Emmys plus math equals the coolest accounting job ever. So cute.
So cute.
The winners' names are only known by the accountants, just like it is for the Grammys and for the Oscars, until the envelopes are opened during the Emmy ceremony, which airs on September 12th. And Keenan is going to be hosting it.
Which is so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Keenan and Kel. What a great. I was like, all that was like the best.
Maybe this is outdated. Maybe it's for last year. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I know Keenan did it last year too.
Oh, maybe it is leftover from last year then.
That's okay.
Or maybe he's just a great host.
Maybe. So yeah.
Nice.
The Emmys really are much more lighthearted, I feel.
It does
TV
feel
people.
that way. Yeah. They're like, well, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a
We're
deal.
just TV. It's
We're
fine.
just TV. TV's like dead media anyway. And
honestly, I think we're living through the golden age of television, to be honest.
It's so crazy. Crazy. I mean, I don't have cable, but it's definitely television shows on streaming platforms.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like there's so much television content out there, and all of it is so well produced because of the budgets that they're able to pour into stuff.
Well, because they're not going back to the beginning. It's because they're not having to necessarily pay the networks for the slots or like primetime slots. They just produce their stuff, spend the money just to host it on a platform where everybody can view it, and then it's like, oh, good to go, all set.
Exactly.
That's so clever,
isn't it?
I love it. Well, that was great.
Yeah, I think we're good. I
you know, I don't necessarily feel better about it.
Right.
I'm not gonna, like, the first two had me, like, just how exclusive it sounds, how difficult it is to even be nominated for some of these things. Like, I get that it's supposed to be art. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it answers the question why a lot of mainstream isn't in there. It's because people are voting not for hype, they're voting for artistic qualities. I don't know.
Right. And I think a lot of times it's people who are experts in their field are nominating and voting on different movies. So it definitely makes sense why the mainstream stuff doesn't always get acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I also think that it's kind of like asking a bunch of scientists to be like, who's your favorite? Like, who's your favorite scientist? And like, everyone knows who Albert Einstein is, but I highly doubt that he would make the top 10 if you ask people who really know about like the world of science, right? I mean, maybe he would. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example, but
no, I think it's a good example because everybody knows who he is. Everybody attributes science and intelligence to this person. And then suddenly they're just like, Joe from XYZ Tech Med, and you're like, who's Joe?
We've never heard of Joe.
Who is he and why is he here? You know, maybe, I don't know if they do, but maybe they should have a category for like most hyped mainstream whatever, because I feel like then you're capturing that audience who's like, yeah, I've been listening to this music. It's had over 40 million bajillion listens and it's never once mentioned, you know?
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, and I think alternatively, I'm sure that's why the MTV Movie Awards exist.
True.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's
because
true.
They target the mainstream young audience, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
But I don't know either. It's just kind of one of those things. I usually just watch the award shows for to watch the red carpets where all the fashion. That's why I watch them. I don't watch them to know what movies to watch because I'm not going to watch those movies.
Yeah, I don't care what they're watching.
Yeah.
Good luck, Joe.
Well, and a couple of times, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler
Mhm.
hosted the Golden Globes, and
That's worth it.
I watch for the comedian who hosts it.
That's worth it. I think
I
that's
think
worth
so.
it. Yeah. Well, I'd love to know their opinion, don't you think? About
Oh yeah.
this. If you'd like to send us your opinions about what you think about all this awarding and sponsoring and nominating, or if you don't care about this at all, that's also fine. You could still let us know. We have multiple ways to let us know, in fact. What do you think they'd like to hear them?
I think they would. I would like to hear them.
I mean, here you go. You can connect with us at mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com. That's our email if you didn't guess. But you can also connect with us on Twitter at Mediocre Squawks, or you can also connect with us on Instagram at Mediocre Content Podcast, or join our live shows over on twitch.tv/Mediocre Content Podcast. We're bi-weekly on Thursdays, 6 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. PST. Rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, and I guess we'll see them next week.
Yeah, bring your popcorn to the live stream and just watch us be silly for an hour and a half.
I mean, we're entertained at the very least.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
We'll catch you guys next week.
Cheers.